Cycplus has sent me two of their flagship e-pump. E-pump seems to be pretty new in the market, or not very new, and I'm here to test them out. They've sent me a bunch of e-pumps, and I'll be doing some giveaways, so stay tuned for the rest of the video. We'll do an unboxing video of the AS2 Pro and the larger, bigger brother, the AS2 Pro Max, and I'll show you how it works and whether you should spend $100 on this e-pump. So let's go and check it out. Okay, so we've got both models as I mentioned, the AS2 Pro, this is the small one, and the AS2 Pro Max, the larger one. So you can see based on the size differences. Essentially both boxes, the contents are the same, so I'll just show one as a demo what comes in the box. What we have here in the box, I've already dismantled everything. You get a user manual. It just tells you how to use them, what are the components in here. So I'll just show you how it works. So you get the unit itself. So this is the AS2 Pro, very small. There's even a digital gauge here. This is the on-off button, plus and minus. I'll show you later, but let's see what's inside here. You get this looks like a waterproof Ziploc bag. So on my Discord, someone asked whether this is waterproof. On their FAQ page, it says that it's only waterproof to very light rain. In heavy rains, it's a digital pump at the end of the day, so I think it's very prone to getting water in its components, so you don't want to get it wet. So I guess this Ziploc bag is where you store everything in here, and then you go for your ride. Yeah, I wish it was waterproof, but unfortunately it is not. So yeah, that answers it. They also come with a silicone casing. I took it out just so that it looks a bit much more aesthetically pleasing for content. But why they provide this is because when you start pumping, it gets a little bit hot, and because of the vibrations as well. So this will help a little bit. So yeah, all of the bike pumps come with this silicone case. You get the hose, but I've just attached this press tie shudder converter. So this is part of the pack that comes in this Ziploc bag. You got a ball pump, and also one of this. You get some valves as well where you can just connect it directly, and then you can just pump straight into the tire without having to use the hose. Personally, I would use the hose so that I do not damage the valve on my bike tire. So what you gotta do is just get the hose out from this, just fit it in, and just mount this press tie and shudder converter, and you're good to go. So that's all the contents in the packaging. Yeah, and it's just this really small one. So I think if you're going to put it in your back pocket, you want to remove the hose, and you're good to go. So yeah, this is the AS2 Pro. So right now I'm just going to show you the weight of each item and how it fits into your saddlebag. We're going to do a weight test here. So CO2 valve and 2 canisters. It's about 138 grams. Now let's go and weigh the AS2 Pro, the smaller one. It's about 140 grams. And now let's weigh the bigger brother. This one's much heavier. It's 227 grams. So I'm going to show you how it fits into the bag. So I've got the Silka Matone. This is a very small saddlebag. You can see this is my palm, that's a saddlebag. So typically what I would normally have is I would have my multi-tool, a TPU tube, 2 CO2s, and 1 valve, CO2 valve. So let's remove this too and see how both of these pumps fits. This is a smaller one, fits right here, close, bam, no problem. Now we've got a bigger one. This might be a bit of a struggle, but it fits nicely as well. So both pump fits really well, and you can just zip it up. So I got the bigger one here, the AS2 Pro Max. It's a bit tight, but it still fits into my small saddlebag, so no issues. Personally, again, I would prefer to bring out the smaller AS2 Pro because of its size, and this one is a bit of an overkill. You don't need to be pumping your tires all the time, so this one is more than enough. In terms of size, this is a Silka multi-tool, and again, it's very small already on my palm. So you can just look at how all these sizes all stack up. And this is my phone. This is the iPhone 14 Pro Max, the bigger iPhone, and it is rather small. So very pocket. The AS2 Pro is a pocket size, and this one is even larger, but large but not that large. It's just a bit heavier. So now let's look at the functions. Again, both of these models are exactly the same, but I'll just show you how this works. So you've got 3 It's an aluminium body, and you've got 3 buttons here. So right out of the box, it is already fully charged. The first one is like a power button, and you've got the plus and minus signs over here. So let's just turn this on. Just hold it, and it pumps up to 120 psi, and here are the 3 bar charts to indicate the power level, amount of batteries left. So now this is already fully charged, and yeah, 120 psi. Just click down, just reduce the number of how much you want to pump into your tires. So 120 psi is the maximum. It goes both for these 2 models. So the only difference between this and this, I guess, is just this one only has a higher battery, and this one is just a smaller one. So the number of charges before you need to charge them up is much more smaller on this one. And there's a USB-C fast charging here, so I think it only takes 30 minutes to get this fully charged, whereas this one takes about, I think, just more than 30 minutes, maybe an hour. I'll put all the stats in the description so you guys can go and check it out. So if you want to hear a sound test, let me just get my mic out and you can hear what this how loud it goes. I think that was quite loud. It might have burst my peaked on my mic, but that is very, very loud. And I'll show you how on a deflated tire, how loud and how fast it can pump a deflated tire, both on the AS2 Pro and the AS2 Pro Max. So let's go and check it out. Uh, 2 minutes 19 seconds. This thing is bloody hot right now. I can't even touch it, and it's extremely loud, guys. I would not recommend doing it at 11 p.m. at night. I hope my neighbors don't come looking for me, but yeah, now it's already down to almost 2. I think it was almost at 2 charges left, but I was playing around with it earlier. So I think the AS2 Pro, if you're gonna use this up to 110 psi, I think you can only pump up to 2 times, or maximum give it a 3 full pumps at a full charge. So yeah, this is it. Now it's starting to lose a bit of pressure, but yeah, it's like too hot. So I think you guys will need to use it with the silicone case so that it's not too hot. Now the problem is, how do you remove this valve, because it's just too hot. You got to wait for it to cool down, then remove it. Or if you have some cloth, then you can use it. You can't just use it with bare hands. It's extremely hot right now. So this is the AS2 Pro. We'll try out the AS2 Pro Max and see how long it takes. Okay, so now we've got the AS2 Pro Max. I've learned my lesson. I'm going to put back the silicone case so it's not too hot, but I hope that it will insulate the heat. So let's turn this on. I've deflated the tire. I'm going to go back up to 110 psi and make a comparison. So 3, 2, 1. One minute 38 seconds. So I think the other one was just over 2 minutes. You save about half a minute on this one. This one still, and by the way, the silicone case works. It's not, I can fully hold this one, so it's not so hot. And again, I played with this a little bit. That's why now it's only down to 2 charges. I believe you can pump, maybe I would give it like 4 pumps, and I think you have pretty much depleted the battery on this one. So in conclusion, what I like about these pumps, or this one is still really hot right now, I can't even hold it in my hand. What I like about these 2 pumps is that it pumps all the way up to 120 psi. If you're like me, running on 25C clinchers, you want high pressures, I guess these kind of pumps do it for you. And also I like that how it has a digital gauge, so you can gauge the amount of battery that you have left. So yeah, that is the review of these 2 pumps. Let me know in the comments if you own an e-pump. Will you replace your handheld pumps with this kind of e-pumps on your rides? I still don't think it will replace your traditional hand pumps, but this one is pretty much better and probably maybe cheaper in the long run compared to a CO2 canister, maybe even better for the environment. For me, definitely I'll be using these e-pumps going forward. I'll be bringing the AS2 Pro with me when on my rides, but just make sure you charge your pumps. Personally, I like the AS2 Pro given its small size and how I showed you how it fits into the bag. The AS2 Pro Max, it's a bit larger, much chunkier. Maybe it's better for your home use. Personally, I'll use this for my rides. And I'm actually keeping both of these. I've requested Cycplus if I can keep both of these, and they kindly let me keep both of these pumps. So I'll be using these 2 pumps going forward. Yeah, and if you'd like to purchase one, if you unfortunately do not win any of the Cycplus pumps that I'm giving away, you could use the OLC discount code and you get 5% off. Otherwise, click the link in the description if you'd like to purchase one of these pumps. So free worldwide shipping as well, and thanks for watching.